Given up on dieting? Then you may be eligible for a free bottle of the Skinny 6 Super Supplement, a weight loss breakthrough available for the first time ever. So please listen carefully. Are you trying to lose more than 20 pounds? Are you 18 or over? Are you currently not dieting? If you answered yes to all of the above, congratulations. You qualify for a free bottle of the Skinny 6 Super Supplement. Be one of the first 100 callers when the phone lines open shortly. Unlike any diet supplement you've tried before, it combines the 6 most powerful, clinically proven weight loss ingredients into one miraculous super pill. But because the Skinny 6 Super Supplement is so powerful, this free bottle offer is only available to those not currently dieting. If you're 18 or over and wanting to lose over 20 pounds or more, find out how to claim your free bottle. Phone lines are open now. Call 1-800-460-9727. That's 1-800-460-9727. 1-800-460-9727.
In 2 days, the highly anticipated 9/11 Museum will open. But tomorrow night, we'll bring you a sneak peek of what's inside, including the controversial Al-Qaeda film that the museum will show over the objections of some Muslim and other groups. Dennis Michael Lynch joins us tomorrow night with the video. Set your DVR now for the Kelly File. See you then.
People you know, news you want. This is your connection to an ever-changing world. Fair and balanced. Fox News Talk.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. It's the primary version of Super Tuesday. Voting in 6 states, the most closely watched race has been a Tea Party challenge in Kentucky to the Senate's Republican leader. Fox News Radio's Jeff Manasso has more live.
Mitch McConnell is facing and is poised to beat Tea Party challenger Matt Bevin, who spent more than $3 million.
There's nothing the president and his allies would like better than to defeat the guy you're looking at.
And many think McConnell's real test will come this fall in the midterms. In Georgia, David Perdue leads the polls in a crowded 7-way GOP Senate primary. In Oregon, Dr. Monica Webby and Rep. Jason Conger lead for the Republican Senate primary. And Tea Party conservatives also battle veteran House Republicans today in Idaho and Pennsylvania. Dave?
Jeff, the CIA, it's blowing its cover, saying it'll no longer use a spying ruse. Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern live in Washington.
A hepatitis vaccine program to help provide cover for the U.S. to track down Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, but it's a tactic the president's top counterterrorism advisor says will be shelved from now on. Lisa Monaco wrote to the deans of more than a dozen public health schools saying the CIA has agreed to no longer use vaccination programs or health workers for intelligence purposes. International health agencies argued it played a role in the shootings of health workers in Pakistan and could backfire on efforts to end polio in that country. Dave.
Jared, an angry China is demanding the U.S. withdraw criminal charges it calls absurd against 5 Chinese military officers the U.S. claims hacked into 6 American companies, including U.S. Steel, swiping business trade secrets. In Thailand, the army has declared martial law.
We are asking the general public not to panic and still carry on their duties and work normally.
As troops were deployed in Bangkok trying to stabilize the country. After 6 months of political protests, the Thai prime minister is ignoring calls to resign. This is Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Fox Tonight.
This is your finale, and this is American Idol.
They defied the odds.
This is coming down to the wire.
They've shattered boundaries.
You're a force to be reckoned with in this competition.
Now, they must survive one last vote. The epic 2-night American Idol season finale begins.
The moment we have all been waiting for.
Followed by the new improv comedy series, Riot, at 8/7 Central, Fox Tonight.
Now, from the historical audio archives of Fox News Talk.
Gore Vidal is best known as an American novelist and known as one of the most prominent liberal public intellectuals of the 20th century. Here is Vidal in the early 60s on the political state of art in the U.S.
You're born into a society and you are shaped by it, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. Each of us is born into a prison of received opinion, of superstition, and of prejudices. Now, one of the functions of art is to try and define the prison. The artist must know he's in it, and many of them don't, and those are the bad artists. They just take it for granted. This is the way things are. They don't know that there are worlds, as Shakespeare said, there is a world elsewhere. They don't see anything past these bars. The prison is going to break you eventually, but you can at least get a look out. And it's the look out that is art.
Stay tuned to hear more history as it unfolds before your ears. It's the audio archives of Fox News Talk.
Russia again claims it's pulling its troops away from the Ukraine border. This as Ukraine's richest man keeps trying to stop pro-Russian insurgents in that country. Fox News Radio's Jessica Gallagher is live in Donetsk.
Dave, Ukraine's richest man, Rinat Akhmetov, is urging Ukrainians across the rebel-held east to peacefully protest against Russian separatists. Here in Donetsk, sirens went off while people honked their horns for a unified Ukraine. Shortly after the demonstration, a helicopter started circling here in Donetsk as multiple shots were fired. Rebels say residents here will not be able to vote in Sunday's upcoming presidential election because they already seceded from Ukraine. Dave?
Jessica, in Cyprus, a telephone call about a bomb prompted the evacuation of the main airport in Larnaca, but it turns out officials say it was a hoax. This as Vice President Biden is set to visit Cyprus tomorrow, and the airport is back open now. Credit Suisse admits it was wrong, letting Americans avoid paying taxes and accounts overseas.
This is the largest bank to plead guilty in 20 years.
Attorney General Eric Holder, Credit Suisse will pay $2.6 billion in penalties, but does not have to ID the Americans that had accounts. The NBA has levied a charge against the banned NBA Clippers owner that Donald Sterling violated the league's constitution, giving him until May 27th to respond to the allegations.
Damaging the NBA and its teams, disparaging African Americans, undermining efforts to promote diversity and inclusion, and impairing the relationship with marketing and merchandising partners. Sterling already banned for life for racist comments and fined $2.5 million, which his attorney says he won't pay. Charging him sets up a hearing on June 3rd. After that, if 3/4 of the other owners vote to sustain the charge, he'll be forced to sell the Clippers. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
In the NBA, the Spurs beat the Thunder, taking Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals last night. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
Your I Factor's on tonight.
There's virtually no Republican who accepts the science that virtually is unanimous. I mean, there is no scientific question.
The governor of California blaming fires and drought on climate change. But a Factor investigation shows that's nonsense. We'll present the facts tonight.
We will either lead or disappoint. Unfortunately, today, in my opinion, America is disappointing.
Chris Christie attacking President Obama. Can the governor of New Jersey get back into the presidential race? Britt Hume on that.
What life lessons has Lady Gaga taught you?
Oh my God.
Also ahead, it is Jesse Waters going against Lady Gaga. Place your bets.
Get some dancing, arms up.
Okay. Don't do that again.
Oh.
Caution, you are about to enter the no-spin zone. A Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Climate change chaos. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. It looks like hell in California as the fire season has started early this year. The nation's most populated state in trouble, and Governor Brown says climate change is the reason why.
It is true that there's virtually no Republican who accepts the science that virtually is unanimous. I mean, there is no scientific question. There's just political denial. As we send billions and billions of tons of heat-trapping gases, we get heat and we get fires and we get what we're seeing.
Mr. Brown is aggressively supporting policies that would limit carbon dioxide, called CO2, emissions in his state. But unfortunately, that will not stop climate change or the drought. From the very beginning, this has been a political issue fueled, pardon the pun, by the very liberal Al Gore, who has literally made a fortune scaring folks about climate. As Brown says, the right is skeptical of scientists who say that pollution is changing the earth, and we're all eventually going to suffer for it. Some conservatives scoff at that. They should not. Liberals, of course, are crazed over man-made climate change, demanding immediate action, pounding the table to save the icebergs. Both sides are misguided. Talking Points urges you to read a column by Peter Morisi, a professor at the University of Maryland, which is posted on foxnews.com. He points out that China is driving pollution on the earth, and no matter what the USA does, China not going to cooperate on limiting CO2 emissions. They have to support 1.5 billion people, and any deprivation in China could lead to a bloody uprising, as the folks there know they are oppressed. So business, not pollution, is China's obsession. Right now, China emits almost twice as much CO2 as the USA, and is responsible for 85% of the annual increase in harmful emissions. In fact, the USA's carbon footprint is receding, down about 17% since 2005. So imposing strict environmental standards on U.S. corporations will not do very much as long as China continues to pollute. Now, it is foolish not to do anything. Human beings are harming the earth, and some corporations pollute to make money. They have to be held to account. Reasonable clean air and water standards should be imposed by the feds. But those standards should not be punishing, or the U.S. economy will sink even further, while China and India, another big polluter, continue to grow. The left wants income equality, but without a robust economy and job market, that'll never come close to happening. Because we have so many restrictions on energy development, we send billions of dollars to OPEC. Does that make any sense to you? Does stopping the Keystone Pipeline make any economic sense? It just makes Russia stronger and America weaker. The Fed should encourage alternative energy by granting tax breaks to responsible companies developing those areas. We support Tesla and electric cars in general. We'd like solar and wind power to be affordable. But in the meantime, if you think hammering U.S. corporations will stop the fires in California or storms like Sandy, you're nuts. Governor Brown should fly over to Shanghai and get a clue. And that's a memo. Now for Top Story Night reaction. Joining us from Washington, Simon Rosenberg, president of the liberal think tank called NDN. Here in New York, Mark Hanna, an analyst who works primarily for Democrats. Where am I going wrong here, Mr. Hanna?
Sounds good to me, Bill. Look, I like where you stand. I like where you stand because it acknowledges that we have a problem, and as everybody knows, the first step in solving any problem is admitting you have a problem. Now, what conservatives have failed to do from, in recent years is acknowledge the problem. You have Marco Rubio out there still denying the fact that climate change is happening.
Well, he's going to be on a program. The senator's going to be on a program tomorrow.
I think you should grill him on it.
And I will. Of course I will. But we want to hear his point of view. But Joe Bastardi, who's our go-to guy in the AccuWeather deal, whatever weather thing he's working for now, he is a global warming, climate change denier. But he points to a lot of interesting facts in history. You know, the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma, the dinosaurs' extinction, that the planet does evolve. However, as I've always said, Mr. Rosenberg, and I'm sure you watch The Factor every night, so you know I say this, it's better for everybody to have a clean planet. So why are we arguing about whether it's natural or whether it's man-made? This case, however, we're being sold a political point of view by the New York Times, other uber-liberal publications, by Governor Jerry Brown, that if we could only stop the devil corporations, wouldn't have the fires, wouldn't have the storms. And you know, that's bunk. Go.
Well, listen, first of all, I applaud the way you're trying to find common ground on this, because I do think this is really one of the most important issues facing the country. The current energy environment is unsustainable for us. It's expensive, it's dirty, and too many bad people control our energy destiny now. I mean, it should be the priority for the United States and the president to get clean energy, inexpensive energy, and energy that we can control ourselves. And I think the president of the United States has done a good job on that.
How has he done a good job?
We're on the road. We're on the road to energy.
Wait. Yeah. On the road doesn't really cut it here in the no spin zone. Okay? All right. Look, he's been in office now 5.5 years. Barack Obama has. Okay? I don't know of any environmental issue that he has either passed or championed that has advanced the cause of a cleaner planet one iota. Can you give me one?
Sure. I mean, we've had a greater expansion of renewable energy in his time in office than we've had in all the...
I tried to get solar panels from my house. I couldn't get them. I couldn't get... Wait. I tried to get solar panels for my house on Long Island. I couldn't get them because they're so cumbersome, so expensive, and they need a roof the size of Rhode Island to put them in, okay? So I wanted to do it. It's not there yet. Give me one.
Fuel efficiency standards for cars and automobiles. You're not going to be able to...
That was started a long time ago.
You're not able to get solar panels 5-10 years from now. You're not going to be able to buy a gas guzzler, and that's when you're talking about CO2 emissions.
Mr. Rosenberg just said the president has been this very effective leader on environmental change. Right. You know that fuel standards were signed a long time ago. Look, all right? Not under his watch. Give me one thing that he's done.
I am disappointed that the president wasn't able to bring Congress along on a cap-and-trade policy, which is based on a market logic.
Bull. The cap-and-trade hurts our economy, and China runs wild. Come on, I just made that case, and you both know it's true.
But China won't run wild if we show a little bit of geopolitical leadership here.
Wait. Look, you're sitting there and you're going to tell me that China is going to go, oh, look at America, they're showing geopolitical leadership. We're going to step in right behind them. Are you saying that to me?
Yeah, you know how much China likes to imitate America.
I want you on the road to Oz. Are you saying that to me, Mr. Rosenberg? Are you saying China is going to follow us if we only show leadership? Are you kidding me?
I'm going to explain what the president's done, because you asked me that. I didn't get to finish. Which is, first of all, he did in the early days of his administration raise fuel efficiency standards. Second is he's made unprecedented investments in renewable energy, which has had a huge impact on the deployment of solar and wind.
Like Solyndra, right? That worked out great, didn't it?
And the third thing is that we have seen more movement towards energy independence in the last 5 years than we had seen in the previous 25 years.
Like the Keystone Pipeline, we moved toward that, right?
Bill, the one thing that these Chinese the one thing that Chinese coal-fire sort of dirty developers of dirty energy love seeing is American Republican politicians saying that climate change doesn't exist. It gives them license to operate.
Here's what they like even more.
The planet that's going to hurt our kids.
Here's what the Chinese like even more. Heavy federal restrictions on corporations so that corporations move their stuff to China. That's what they like even more. Hey, guys, that was a good debate, and we really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks,
okay?
Bill. Thanks.
Next on the rundown, Chris Christie hammers President Obama over foreign policy. Can the governor make a presidential comeback? Later, Waters versus Lady Gaga. Talk about a cultural divide. The Factor's coming right back.
It's easy to take your world for granted. Most days go by without a whole lot of surprises. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Would you be prepared? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Ready.gov. This message brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
Weekdays on Fox Business.
Bottom line here is we want investors to be prepared for the day ahead, the week ahead.
Opening Bell with Maria Bartiromo.
The concept is to bring perspective, analysis. All day long, I'm speaking with global allocators of capital, CEOs, heads of state, so I can anticipate some of the major moves or reactions, giving investors an edge.
Opening Bell with Maria Bartiromo. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on Fox Business.
Unique perspective. Uncommon talk.
Well, ask her what legislation does Ted Cruz introduce that you think would make him such a good legislator?
Yeah, I mean,
what has he done as a legislator?
Yes, I mean, those are questions that you and I know the answers to.
Well, I don't know the answer because I can't think of anything.
You're on a roll tonight, Alan.
No, really. I mean, it's like, normally if I'm going to physical therapy, I don't want to talk politics.
Alan Colmes. Be a part of it live. Weekdays at 6 p.m. East, 3 p.m. West.
FoxNewsTalk.com. It's been tweeted about by Hollywood celebrities, featured in beauty magazines, hailed as the instant complexion perfector. Now, for a limited time, Vanish by Miracle Skin Transformer is offering its best deal ever at Ulta Beauty Stores, so you too can instantly vanish the look of imperfections for flawlessly beautiful skin. Allure magazine calls Vanish ideal for creases, large pores, and acne scars. Lucky magazine raves that it makes your skin look good now and in the long run. But this offer is only for a limited time, so hurry to your nearest Ulta store today.
Do you have dark circles and bags under your eyes but can't find a product that works? Then stay tuned. The next 30 seconds will change everything because Hydrolyze Intensive is clinically proven to visibly reduce the appearance of dark circles, wrinkles, and bags. And right now, we're looking for 100 callers in this area to try Hydrolyze risk-free. It's also available at Ulta, but to try it risk-free for 30 days, call 1-800-571-6965. Be one of the first 100 now. 1-800-571-6965.
Impact segment is sponsored by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase.
Impact segment tonight, the Hume Zone, where we sometimes visit another dimension. Trying to get back in the presidential game, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie blasted the president over his leadership yesterday.
We will either lead or disappoint. Those are the only two choices. Unfortunately, today, in my opinion, America is disappointing, but it's not too late. It is time for us to stand up once again and lead our nation in a way that leads us to greater success and prosperity and lead the world towards greater liberty, freedom, prosperity, and respect for human life.
Joining us now from Washington, Fox News senior politicalist Brit Hume. Okay, So Christie trying, obviously, to get back into presidential sweepstakes. Do you think he will be able to do that?
I think it's possible. It's not inevitable, but he certainly has a chance to do that. Some of that will depend upon the outcome of these inquiries into the famous bridge traffic clogging scandal. If that ends up not sticking to him, that'll liberate him from one burden he carries. And I think some of it may depend on who else runs. If Jeb Bush, for example, were to get into the race, he occupies somewhat the same space on the conservative center-right spectrum that Christie would occupy, and he might have second thoughts if Jeb Bush got in, or they would have to duke it out.
Yeah, but it's a different thing, though. I continue to say that if you're going to run against Hillary Clinton, you've got to have charisma. And Christie has that. He has charisma. He didn't show it in that clip. He was a little restrained. But if you're going to go Jeb Bush against Hillary Clinton or Chris Christie against Hillary Clinton, Christie is going to be far more assertive. He's going to be far more aggressive. Whereas Governor Bush will do it on an intellectual plane, which I'm not sure is going to be very effective against an icon like Mrs. Clinton.
Well, the first thing you got to do, though, Bill, is you got to get your party to nominate you. And Chris Christie, in the eyes of at least some conservatives, is not conservative enough. That's true also of Bush. It should be added. That's right. I was just saying the same thing can be said of Bush. So, the first contest, the one that he'd have to win to never face Hillary Clinton, is one in which he's got to win over some conservatives, or at least hold on to enough of them that the hard right is not able to defeat him. And I think his bluff and blunt style, his sort of candor and his spirit that we can do this, and I'm the guy strong enough to lead, may be just the thing. I think people are eager to hear that. I think they believe, at least those in the Republican ranks, believe that we're suffering from a presidency characterized by weak leadership, as Christie himself suggested in that soundbite you played.
All right, because the Republicans do have an opportunity. A new Politico poll, and you guys can see it for yourself at Politico.com, suggests that in the key races for the Senate, that Republicans have surged ahead. Let me give you one stat. The Republicans lead Democrats by 7 points among likely voters in states like Louisiana, Arkansas, North Carolina, where the Senate races are close, and if they go to the GOP could take the Senate. So this poll is good news, and not very few people like Obamacare, even though they're, it looks the same, that Americans just don't want this. Is that how you read it?
Well, the poll tells us a lot, possibly, about the Senate races, but on a presidential level, Bill, those are states, the ones that are cited there, are states that Obama didn't win, and that his successor probably wouldn't win anyway. So it doesn't really give us a full sense of the advantage that Republicans would have or lack in the 2016 presidential race. But it does tell us a lot about what the Democrats are up against trying to hold on to the Senate here in 2014.
All right, now let's compare Carter, who you covered. Didn't you cover Carter, right?
Well, I was here covering Congress, but yeah, I watched it all.
You knew who he was. You knew he was over there. You knew what he was doing.
I heard he was in the White House.
So we have 2.5 years left for Barack Obama. Compare Barack Obama's position today to what Jimmy Carter's was with 2.5 years left.
Well, both of them are weakened presidencies. They're both of them, and of course, in Carter's case, it was one and done. He didn't get to serve a second term. Obama is now having the kind of second term problems that other presidents have had. Normally, what you see in a second term of the president is that the world becomes increasingly to fascinate him. It's an area where a president has more freedom of movement than he does in domestic affairs, where he needs the say-so, the consent of Congress, and he hasn't really got any chance of getting that with the Republicans in control of the House and perhaps soon the Senate. So the situations are a little different, but and Obama seems not to have been captivated by the world. He seems increasingly, to have withdrawn from it. I think it's fair to say. That's right. Isolated, and the troubles mount. Carter had one great triumph, which was a foreign policy triumph, and that was the Camp David Accords, which were, stand to this day as a major foreign policy achievement. He had a lot of failings, but he had that at least.
All right. For Hume, everybody, thank you. Directly ahead, Juan Williams and Karl Rove slug it out over Hillary Clinton. Very entertaining. We'll show it to you next.
Fox Tonight.
This is your finale, and this is American Idol.
They defied the odds.
This is coming down to the wire.
They shattered boundaries.
You're a force to be reckoned with in this competition.
Now, they must survive one last vote. The epic two-night American Idol season finale begins.
The moment we have all been waiting for.
Followed by the new improv comedy series, Riot, at 8/7 Central, Fox Tonight.
Now, from the historical audio archives of Fox News Talk.
Mahalia Jackson, who died in 1972, is widely regarded as the first queen of gospel music. Although she was a heralded and much-loved performer, she lived a double life in racially divided America.
When I'm on the stage and on television and working with white people, they just hug me and love me and say I'm so wonderful and I'm so great. And then when I'm walking down the street like an ordinary citizen, they don't recognize me. And when I go into the department store in the South, I can't get a sandwich, I can't get a bottle of pop, I got to stand, I can't even get a cab. And I'm just the Mahalia Jackson that they got through saying how wonderful I am. I don't understand this. What makes people act like that?
Stay tuned to hear more history as it unfolds before your ears. It's the audio archives of Fox News Talk. Fox Country.
I'm Kirsten McNary. Miranda Lambert's Platinum Tour kicks off July 10th in Fort Laramie, Ohio, wrapping up September 20th in Honolulu. Kelly Pickler telling Fox News Radio about the joys of songwriting with husband Kyle Jacobs.
I feel like no one knows me better. Like, even if I can't put into words what it is that I'm thinking or feeling, he has a way of pulling that out of me.
You can hear the rest of that interview on foxnewsradio.com. Taylor Swift's piano playing got her cast in hotly anticipated movie The Giver. After seeing Swift in concert, producer Nikki Silver thought she'd be a good fit for the role of Rosemary, who happens to play piano. And Dolly Parton's Blue Smoke is out now. Parton telling Fox about the album's Bon Jovi cover.
Even on songs like Lay Your Hands on Me, we kind of added the bluegrass instruments and the harmonies.
That's Fox Country from Fox News Radio.
Personal story segment tonight, food fight over Hillary Clinton. In one corner, Karl Rove, who says the concussion Mrs. Clinton sustained as Secretary of State could be a presidential campaign issue. In the other corner, an outraged Juan Williams.
The GOP at this moment is apoplectic over Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's to blame for Benghazi. Hillary Clinton's to blame for Nigeria. Hillary Clinton's to blame for Monica Lewinsky.
Glad you admit it.
Hillary Clinton was a terrible Secretary of State. You guys are going crazy, and this now is like it's like not only you're beating her, you're beating her about the head and generating sympathy for her.
Be careful about your analogies. First of all, look, let's be clear. She is going to have to cough up these medical records and describe this. This was a serious. Look, the Center for Disease Control says a concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury.
And joining us now from Washington, Mary Catherine Hammond, Juan Williams. Are your arms tired from carrying all that water for Mrs. Clinton now?
I love your introductions. Thank you, William. But I must say it's getting easier because they're generating, on the right, such sympathy for Mrs. Clinton.
How do you know that, though? How do you know
people? I'm telling you because I walk around and people... Look, when Rush Limbaugh says, who wants to watch a woman get older in the White House? When Rand Paul says, oh, my God, she enabled Bill's cheating, guess what? Lots of people think this is over the top. These guys are so crazy upset about the prospect of going up against Hillary in 2016, they're reacting out of fear. They're flailing.
Do you think that, Mary Catherine? Do you think that Mrs. Clinton's actually picking up support because of all of these things?
Well, look at me. I'm clearly apoplectic. I can't contain myself. Look, if in fact concussions and blood clots on the brain are not a big deal at all, that we should ask no questions about them, then the NFL can rest easy. But I don't think that's actually the case. And look, here's the deal. There's a middle ground here. When Juan's speaking in this clip, he declares the Boko Haram classification off limits. Benghazi, her entire Secretary of State tenure. Now, this is crazy to ask questions about, even though Bill Clinton, just the other day, said, look, it took her 6 months to recuperate when we were told a month before.
What do you want?
I was not aware that it took...
I don't know what people want, though. What does the right want? Does she want? Do they want X-rays? What do they want?
For her to be frank about it when we have evidence that in fact Bill Clinton saying it took 6 months.
She got a concussion. What do they want her to say? I don't remember anything.
I think the question would be why before was the story that it was a month recovery and now it's 6 months, and that seems like a fairly serious deal.
Mary Catherine,
that's what Bill Clinton said. It's not me.
Mary Catherine, they said she went to therapy. That's not saying that she was
she went to therapy
for 6 months.
Why doesn't she just release?
Let me also say, Bill, I think Juan has a point that you have to calculate each one of these things as to how much sympathy it builds with others. I think that's a fair point. But there's a middle ground where you can ask questions and not be some hateful, crazy conspiracy theorist. And the Clintons are not famous for being forthright about things.
But remember, she hasn't declared for anything yet, so she's not, putting out her medical records. We're way before that.
Right.
But if she does declare, want, shouldn't she then put out all her medical records about the concussion, about her treatment, and where she is now?
I would expect it. I think all candidates are legitimately questioned by the press,
so
by the public.
We don't have a controversy here. We don't really have one.
Yeah, you do, because it went way beyond that. No, it went way beyond that. It went way beyond someone saying, hey, we're going to have to ask questions about your health, and you're getting to be an older person or whatever. That's a little touchy, but okay. But no, this became personal, Bill. This was like, hey, she's the walking dead, as Bill Clinton said, all of a sudden she's brain damaged.
They turned it into that, didn't they?
Yeah.
What?
Didn't they turn it into a personal? All Rove was doing was saying, look, we're going to have to know.
Look, Carl raised the issue, and Carl says he didn't quite say that now, but that's what people heard, and what they heard was...
You took it as an attack. I didn't take it as an attack. Did you take it as an attack, Mary Catherine?
It was meant to, it wasn't a love note. It was meant to diminish her and suggest that she's not capable of handling the job.
Did you see it that way, Mary Catherine?
I think I would have worded it differently than Carl did, perhaps been a little more gentle, but he's brought up the issue, and now he's got Juan saying, look, she should release these medical records, so I think that might be mission accomplished for him.
Wait a second, I didn't say now, even
I know, but
when she was a candidate,
I understand that, Juan, but what the left wants to do is declare all of this completely off limits, declare Benghazi off limits, declare all of this off limits. Carl says, no, it's not off limits, and now you've admitted it's not.
Well, there's one thing that has to happen. If Hillary Clinton decides to run for president, and there are questions about the concussion or her health in general, there's just one way and only one thing she can do, and that's come on the factor, and I'll ask her questions, and we'll see how she does. I mean, that's all.
I think Hillary Clinton clearly has all her faculties and can therefore handle taking a few questions about this. End of story.
Yeah, I'd say that was true.
Right?
Now, did you and Rove, did you guys punch each other after Fox News Sunday? Was there a brawl
that
there?
Would cause brain injury. Don't do it.
No. This has been going on for years, and actually Carl reads and has read my, so we know each other pretty well. He's always been very accessible and honest with me. So yeah, I think
you don't like him, Juan. I know you don't like Rove.
Oh no, that's not true.
You like
that's
him?
Not true at all. Oh, look, that guy's an expert political operative. He elected the president twice. He's a tough guy.
Did you ever buy him dinner?
I'll be the ref when they actually have the fight.
He has bought dinner for me. So there you go.
But you never bought him dinner.
Well, he's not you, Bill. No.
He never bought me dinner. I don't think he did.
Hey,
oh, that's right. I remember that Long John Silver's fish and chips. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Delicious.
All right, we got to go. Plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening. Bernie Goldberg on fascism enveloping some college campuses. Very provocative situation. Waters is after Lady Gaga. Why don't you leave her alone, Waters? We hope you stay tuned for those reports.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Begin by finding a comfortable, relaxed position. Let out whatever stress is in your body. It could be from the time you left your daughter's blouse in the dryer too long and it shrunk 4 sizes, or when you donated her private diary to the public library, or when you thought chaperoning the school dance meant actually dancing in the school dance. Whatever it is, let it go. The fire you started with that experimental dinner, let it go. The time you drove away from the gas pump, with the gas pump, let it go. 3, very relaxed. 2, there you go. 1.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Shepard Smith reporting is a new way to get the news. There's breaking news now on Fox News Channel. I'm excited about this because my role has changed a lot. I'm kind of acting as quarterback, and I get to call the shot.
I'll talk about that, and I'll talk about this.
We're trying to be game changers. We've created all of this so that we can get news fast, accurate, fair, and balanced. We want to lead the pack. More of today's top headlines from the Fox News deck. Now is the time for Shepard Smith Report. Tune in to Shepard Smith Reporting, weekdays on the Fox News Channel.
Fox rocks.
I'm Kirsten McNary. American Idol slimming down. Fox announcing the show will go from more than 50 hours this season to 37 next season. Online Bruce Springsteen Museum blindedbythelight.com will go live in June, coinciding with the 30th anniversary of Born in the USA. Artifacts include the boss's first grade report card. Rick Springfield telling Fox News Radio his new novel, Magnificent Vibrations, involves conversations with God.
I was raised with a specific way of viewing God, and it didn't sit with me properly later on as I got older, so I went searching myself. And I think a lot of people are doing that now.
You can hear the rest of the interview on foxnewsradio.com. And Motley Crue's farewell tour kicks off this summer, but Tommy Lee is already making music with another band, playing drums on the upcoming Smashing Pumpkins album, Monument to an Elegy. That's Fox Rocks from Fox News Radio.
Want to lose weight? Listen up, because an incredibly effective weight loss supplement is being given out to 100 callers right now. Because it's so potent, please take no more than 1 capsule a day. Be one of the first 100 callers to get a risk-free trial. 1-800-968-5765. Supplies are limited because this product is proven and can cause dramatic weight loss. It's called AF+. Take 1 capsule just once a day as directed, and you can experience maximum weight loss. Pounds in days. It's all natural, safe, and healthy. But if your weight loss with AF Plus is too dramatic, please decrease use and only take it every other day. Only 100 callers are guaranteed to get a risk-free trial. Call 1-800-968-5765. Mayo Clinic research proves that carrying fat in your midsection raises your risk of heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, even cancer. If you need to lose weight, you absolutely must call now. 1-800-968-5765. 1-800-968-5765.
Back to follow-up segment tonight, another damning situation concerning Obamacare. The Obama administration has awarded a $1 billion contract to the Serco company, a British outfit that specializes in processing paperwork, in this case, Obamacare paperwork. Guess what? There's chaos. In St. Louis, KMOV-TV, the CBS affiliate, investigated Serco employees and found a very troubling situation.
After providing proof of employment, this Serco employee agreed to speak through the phone with their voice altered. The employee says hundreds of employees spend much of the day staring at computer screens with little or no work to do. Are there some days where a data entry person may not process one single application?
There are some weeks that the data entry person would not process an application.
The facility is one of 3 Serco locations that process paper applications, people seeking to qualify for insurance.
The main thing is that the data entry side does not have hardly any work to do.
Our employee says every person who works here is happy to have a job and wants to work hard, but frustration is mounting. Serco's contract is worth upwards of $1.2 billion.
Serco, as a contractor, gets paid for the number of people that they employ. So they want us there, even if we're not doing anything.
And joining us now from St. Louis, investigative reporter Chris Negus, who put that story together. Let me walk through this so everybody understands it. This outfit that you're zeroing in on is in St. Louis area, right?
That's correct, Bill.
Do you know how many more outfits Serco has around the United States?
Well, Bill, this company specializes in government contracts. With Serco, they not only have the facility here in Wentzville, which is in suburban St. Louis, they also have a facility in Rogers, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kentucky, and all of them tasked with handling these paper applications for the Affordable Care Act.
Do you know if the same situation exists in the other 3 that exist in St. Louis?
Yes. Well, when we started this investigation here in St. Louis, that's the question that we wanted answered. After we aired our first investigation last Monday, we started hearing from Serco employees in other states. In Kentucky, one employee there says there's only a couple of applications, paper applications, trickling in every day. So they've got little or no work to do. So they go to work all day and accomplish virtually nothing. Then I started hearing from employees in Rogers, Arkansas, that facility. I went down to Arkansas on Friday, talked to several current employees, and all of them say the same thing. They go to work every day, and at the end of an 8-hour shift, leave without having done any real work.
What is the reason that there aren't applications for the Affordable Health Care law coming in?
Well, as you know, a lot of stuff today is done online. There were some estimates about how many people would actually fill out the paper applications. One of the numbers that was floating around 30%. But clearly there's not enough work to do, and now you've got over 1,000 employees between these facilities tasked with doing the data entry portion of the applications that some days just sit there with nothing to do.
All right, so it's basically that it may be obsolete, the whole model, because people, if they want to sign up, can sign up on the internet. They don't have to walk into a facility that's rented and all that. So the $1.2 billion is going down the drain.
Well, if you believe these employees, and I have no reason not to believe them, again, remember, all of these employees, many of them support the Affordable Care Act. That's why they went to work there in the first place. But a week or 2 after starting their job, they were disillusioned, saying, you know, the place is there's nothing to do. There's no applications coming across their computer screen that they actually have to process. So there's some tough questions that need to be asked of CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. They're the ones that awarded this contract to Serco. And now you got these employees say they're sitting around. And this has not changed since this investigation started. started, these employees today still say they're sitting around. Some days they're reading books.
They can't bring people. Yeah, if the people aren't coming in with the applications, they're not coming in. Good work, Chris. We appreciate it. When we come right back, Goldberg on college campus fascism running wild. Then Waters tracks down Lady Gaga. Kind of. Why does Jesse care? Moments away.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. It's the busiest day of the primary season so far in the fight for the Senate.
There's a Tea Party versus establishment showdown in Kentucky with businessman Matt Bevin taking on Mitch McConnell. In Georgia, a crowded field of candidates appears headed for a runoff this summer. In Arkansas, Republican Tom Cotton and Democrat Senator Mark Pryor are running unopposed and will meet in the fall.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland.
In Oregon, the question is, will pediatric neurosurgeon Monica Webby hold on to her lead in the GOP primary in spite of allegations she stalked her ex-boyfriend?
The most destructive of the San Diego County wildfire said to be about 90% contained now. And actor Michael Jace, who plays a police officer on The Shield, has been charged with homicide, according to authorities. His wife was found dead in their home last night. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Wealth is more than just stocks and bonds. It's the art of making money. Everyone doing it knows you have to see the opportunity. You have to take the chance. You have to have the passion. I live and breathe this stuff. Real estate, startup strategy, tech, art, wine. I know where the action is. I'll get you access to the minds making it happen. You have to play to win, so get in the game. Watch Risk and Reward with me, Deirdre Bolton, weekdays, only on Fox Business Network. The power to prosper.
Alan Cole.
The free market could easily decide that the team can't function with him as owner. But on the other hand, let's face it, the NBA is not the government. You can't, as a caller astutely pointed out earlier tonight, you can't just claim First Amendment. My First Amendment, people will say to me when they get on the show that I'm infringing on their First Amendment rights. Only the government can take away your First Amendment rights.
Alan Cole. Be a part of it live. Weekdays at 6 p.m. East, 3 p.m. West.
Online at foxnewstalk.com.
Thanks for telling us how much you love the new Fox News Radio app. Not only do you get fair and balanced news, your favorite talk show hosts, and top Fox News Channel shows, you get great features like instant call show buttons so you won't have to worry about dialing the phone. Access to our Twitter and Facebook accounts at a touch of a finger, plus an alarm so you can set it and wake up to the news and opinions you need to get your day started. Don't have the new Fox News Radio app? Get it free now at the App Store or at foxnewsradio.com.
If you're overwhelmed by debt and thinking about going to a credit counseling company for help, think again, because the majority of those companies actually work for the credit card companies, and they make the credit card companies a lot of money from people just like you. But there's another way out of debt, and it's not bankruptcy. A way to reduce your debts and save you thousands of dollars. Even better, you can find out how for free by calling 1-800-509-3950. At Freedom Debt Relief, we're not a credit counseling organization. We're not a debt consolidation company. We offer a unique alternative to save you the most money possible to resolve your debt in the shortest amount of time. If you're thinking about a credit counselor, ask yourself this. Are they working for you or the credit card companies? Reduce your debts and save thousands of dollars by learning the secrets to settling your debt. For free information, call 1-800-509-3950. That's 1-800-509-3950. 1-800-509-3950.
The O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 14 years running.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Weekdays at Bernie segment tonight. Fascism on some college campuses. As you may know, a variety of commencement speakers, including former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, have withdrawn from speaking at graduations because they were terrorized. The latest is a Democrat, Michael Johnston, state senator in Colorado, whose students and alumni at Harvard's education school want to disinvite because he was perceived, or is perceived by some left-wing loons, as an anti-teacher union guy or something. Joining us from Miami, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So things are rapidly getting out of control. This is deja vu all over again from the late 60s, early 70s, when if you didn't agree with Abby Hoffman and Jerry Rubin, you couldn't even talk on some college campuses. It's going on now, right?
Right. The lunatics, once again, are taking over the asylum. What makes this breathtakingly repulsive, in my view anyway, is that these are the same people who are always lecturing us about diversity and how you can't have a good education on a college campus without diversity. Obviously, they're not talking about ideological diversity. They're not talking about diversity of opinion. These are left-wing authoritarians. These are liberals who have forgotten how to be liberal, if they ever knew in the first place.
Do you believe that this is driven by, see, back in the 60s and 70s, it was all anti-Vietnam. All right, they tied the Vietnam War in with the country. And the country was evil because it was trying to defend freedom, which it was, the USA was, in South Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. Maybe we didn't do it the right way, but that was why we were there. We didn't want the people to be enslaved in the communist system, which they subsequently were when we pulled out of Southeast Asia. So that there was this anti-Americanism in play on the college campuses back then. Is it anti-Americanism now? Like the Condoleezza Rice thing? Is that anti-Americanism?
It is in this sense, at least the way I see it, it is in this sense. The far left on college campuses, they like America, they love America, just not the one that we happen to be living in today. They love some idealized America where there's not an ounce of racism, where there's not an ounce of pollution. Now, I'd like that kind of America too, but I'm pretty happy with the one we have. They're not. And this is creeping incrementalism of the authoritarians.
The really troubling thing is that it's not just students, is that there's a lot of alumni and professors at Rutgers, your alma mater, founded in 1766, Goldberg was telling me, before the country. There were a lot of professors who say, you know what? Condoleezza Rice is not worthy to be heard on this campus. When you have that coming from professors, not stupid, loony, stoned-out kids, you got a problem.
Right. You got a big problem, and a lot of these professors were the ones who were demonstrating back in the 60s.
Yes,
you know, now they're professors. But listen, let me give you a personal note on this. The other day, I got a contribution letter from Rutgers, my alma mater, and recently on my website, I wrote a column trashing Rutgers for the way they treated Condoleezza Rice. So instead of putting a check in that envelope, I put my column in the envelope. I did.
You'd be thrilled to receive it.
Just this morning, literally this morning, I put the column in and mailed it off to them. Now, there's a lesson in this. I'm not a crusader, but if I can help either start a movement or at least continue a movement, it would be this. Everybody out there who's gone to a college where this kind of nonsense goes on, write a letter to the president of the university and tell him, you know what? My values aren't being reflected. Now you're hurting my feelings. Now you're offending me. So this is my way, the only way I can, to disinvite you by not sending you any more money. Let's see if that wakes him up.
Yeah, I would have sent him $1. Just, I'll give you $1 if you read the column. If you don't, you have to send me the $1 back. Put $1 in there. All right, there's Goldberg. He's not a revolutionary, but he's fomenting rebellion down in Miami.
A little bit.
Waters is on deck. Trouble in Lady Gaga land. Jesse's right in the middle of it. Up next.
Fox Tonight. This is your finale, and this is American Idol. They've defied the odds. This is coming down to the wire. They've shattered boundaries.
You're a force to be reckoned with in this competition.
Now, they must survive one last vote. The epic two-night American Idol season finale begins. The moment we have all been waiting for. Followed by the new improv comedy series, Riot, at 8/7 Central, Fox Tonight.
Hi, I'm Harry Anderson. For a good, uncomplicated way to exercise, take a walk. At any age, walking is one of the best ways to keep your heart fit and your joints limber, without the injuries that jogging or some aerobics can cause. Ask your shoe salesman for a shoe that's designed for walking. And ask your doctor to help you plan an exercise walking program that's right for you. Soon, you'll be on the road to better health.
A message from the Will Rogers Institute, wrinstitute.org.
Now, from the historical audio archives of Fox News Talk.
On July 27, 1976, after months of legal wrangling, former Beatle John Lennon finally won residency in the U.S.
Well, it's great to be legal again. I'll tell my baby, and I'll thank Wilco and, of course, the Immigration Service for finally seeing the light of day, as they say. Good. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to. I should have got a different picture.
What does it mean to you after 5 years of struggling to become a permanent resident to get that green card?
Well, it was a very slow, long struggle, so it's not like, you know, it suddenly ends. I'll come out of it slowly, and I realize I can go to visit relatives in Japan, show them the baby, show them in England, you know, save them coming over here. And I can go visit the relatives and come back with safety now with the green card. How do you feel?
Oh, well.
Stay tuned to hear more history as it unfolds before your ears. It's the audio archives of Fox News Talk.
Back in the book segment tonight, Water's World, the Lady Gaga edition. I know you don't care. But there's an interesting story here. Young woman rises up to become a pop superstar, makes millions, then kind of flames out, leaving behind some very devoted fans, Americans who are obsessed with her. It's all kind of spooky. So we sent a spooky guy, Jesse Waters, out to clarify.
The Gaga hype machine is in full effect.
People want Gaga to be an instant success.
What's going on, my man?
Just waiting in line for the one and only Lady Gaga.
Are you going to propose? Because if you're not, quit staring at me.
Get some dancing, arms up.
Okay, don't do that again.
Oh.
Do you do a lot of narcotics?
No.
Do you know what narcotics are?
No.
I'll be damned.
Are you on acid right now?
No drugs.
Sure those pants aren't just a little bit too tight?
I mean, I think they look fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
They're painted on.
You're walking like Frankenstein.
What do you guys do?
I actually work at Medieval Times. Welcome to Medieval Times. I'll be your serving wench, Melinda.
You don't look like the typical Gaga fan.
I just like the jeans and t-shirt type deal.
You don't look so good.
I could do a lot of damage.
You like women?
You could say I'm a lesbian.
I don't know what that means.
You have a boyfriend?
Yes, he's right there.
That's my cameraman.
No. Ew, no.
Ew?
No.
He's a handsome man.
Room's starting to spin real fast because of the gayness.
I'm really scared now. What does Lady Gaga mean to you?
She's my second mom.
She shows me like so many life lessons that no one really gets to teach you.
What life lessons has Lady Gaga taught you?
Oh my God.
She stands for equality of all the gays, and I think that we need gay marriage here all throughout America.
Did Lady Gaga bring you out of the closet?
I was well on my way, but she definitely helped.
You know something? I believe you.
Bill O'Reilly wants to ask you a quick question. This will be fun. This will be fun.
I've noticed a certain resistance to Gaga so far this year.
We have some indication that Mother Monster's star power may be on the decline.
Lady Gaga has been struggling recently. She's not as famous. Her album sales are down. Why are you still attracted to her?
Because music is not for money. Music is for talent and for art.
Canceling the last tour kind of hurt it a little bit.
Gaga's been doing whatever she wanted since the very beginning. And if the mainstream accepts it, they do. And if they don't, there's all these fans that love it.
You think Lady Gaga is a flash in the pants?
I don't think so.
Are you a flash in the pants? You ever, watch the news or anything like that?
Only to check the weather, so I know what I'll wear for that day.
Are you a Republican or Democrat?
I don't know.
Do you know the difference?
No.
Do you think the Democrats are going to put someone on the Benghazi committee? Okay.
This is a little awkward.
How's Obama doing?
Who?
The president.
Of what?
America?
Oh.
It's embarrassing, you know.
I like to live in my bubble of ignorance bliss.
Okay. How's that working out for you?
I got my own problems.
You a Factor fan?
I am a Factor fan.
Yeah, what's your favorite part of the show?
Probably when he makes fun of everybody.
I'm Waters, and you're in my world right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How's that feel?
Pretty amazing.
All right, here's Waters. Is this just a gay thing? Is that what it primarily is?
I think about half of it's gay.
Yeah?
There's a lot of gender bending and transsexual
Because there are
situations.
performers like Cher's one.
Sure.
That attract a big gay audience.
Yeah.
But is this what this is evolving into?
I mean, I don't know if it's evolving. I think it's always been a big gay theme.
But she was real mainstream with Bad Romance and all those songs.
She was, and I like Lady Gaga. I like that kind of music. I'm not embarrassed to talk about it.
But you should be. No, some of her songs are catchy, but it looks to me like that's over, the mass adulation.
Right.
As you said, her album sales and ticket sales are down.
Right. She's down, I think, from 4.58 million albums sold in 2008 to only just about 700,000 last year. So she's had some hip surgery. The shock value's wearing off. Yep. Miley Cyrus has kind of outpaced her in terms of that. So we'll see where she goes from here.
You'll see.
I will.
Yeah, I'm not really going to follow it, but you keep me posted.
I'm on the Lady Gaga beat.
You're getting real popular in certain areas there, Waters.
Which areas are you talking about?
I'm not even going to get into it. All right, there he is. Factor tip of the day, money-saving coupons, how to get them with no sweat on just about everything. We're going to save you even more money. The tip, moments away.
Sometimes you just want a little more, whether it's to get your motor revving,
Fox in the Fast Lane. I'm Orjay Tashina.
to catch up on what pushes your buttons.
Here's what's going viral now on Facebook.
You can find it at foxnewsradio.com/podcast.
With all the latest news and views for America's shooting community, I'm Jessica Curtis.
If you've got the fever, we've got the cure.
House Call for Health, I'm Pam Wentworth.
That's foxnewsradio.com/podcast. Tom Sullivan.
I've heard President Obama say, I'm in favor of lower corporate tax rates. And I've heard the Republicans say that. You got the president, you got Republicans. It seems like low-hanging fruit. Why they don't go in and say, why don't we change the tax rates? It seems to be too simple. But for some reason, the pinheads that we have under the dome are not capable of figuring this thing out.
Tom Sullivan. Be a part of it live. Weekday afternoons at 3 East, noon West. Or get the podcast at TomSullivan.com. Fox Country.
I'm Kirsten McNary. Miranda Lambert's Platinum Tour kicks off July 10th in Fort Laramie, Ohio, wrapping up September 20th in Honolulu. Kelly Pickler telling Fox News Radio about the joys of songwriting with husband Kyle Jacobs.
I feel like no one knows me better. Like, even if I can't put into words what it is that I'm thinking or feeling, he has a way of pulling that out of me.
You can hear the rest of that interview on foxnewsradio.com. Taylor Swift's piano playing got her cast in hotly anticipated movie The Giver. After seeing Swift in concert, producer Nikki Silver thought she'd be a good fit for the role of Rosemary, who happens to play piano. And Dolly Parton's Blue Smoke is out now, Parton telling Fox about the album's Bon Jovi cover.
He's even on songs like Lay Your Hands on Me. We kind of added the bluegrass instruments and the harmonies.
That's Fox Country from Fox News Radio.
If you own a business, you know incorporating can be a smart way to protect yourself and your assets. So the question is, why haven't you incorporated your business yet?
My business? It's too small.
Wrong. No matter how small your business, you run the risk of losing all your personal assets, your car, your home, even your entire life savings if you're not incorporated.
Incorporating is very complicated.
Actually, incorporating is easy and fast. You can do it in just 10 minutes. Call now for your free guide from LLC.com. 1-800-943-5846.
I need a lawyer to incorporate. That's really expensive.
You don't need a lawyer, and we don't offer legal or financial advice. LLC.com is a service company whose only mission is helping people like you incorporate safely, easily, and quickly. Find out how simple it is to protect your family and personal assets by incorporating. Call now for your free guide. 1-800-943-5846. 1-800-943-5846. That's 1-800-943-5846.
Factor tip of the day in a moment. We will save you money yet again. First Father's Day rapidly approaching. We have the best deal ever for you. Become a BillO'Reilly.com premium member or re-up. You get a free book, your choice, free pen, free tote. You can give Dad all of that, or you can siphon off something for yourself. How about that? And if you would like to get signed copies of my books, personalized just for your father, please get those orders into BillO'Reilly.com ASAP. Now the mail, Nancy Healy, Thousand Oaks, California. O'Reilly, your remarks about 73-year-old Eleanor Clift were among the most sexist, ageist, and totally offensive I have ever heard. Ms. Cliff says Ambassador Stevens was not murdered in Benghazi, that he was killed by fire. Okay, Nancy, let's take it step by step. Statement's beyond dumb, right? Beyond dumb. He was murdered by terrorists. Ms. Cliff was given the opportunity to retract. She did not. So I said that maybe her age is catching up with her. Some people lose their fastball early. Some late, some never. Ms. Cliff brought the spotlight on herself. Mitchell Feinsod, Palm Springs, California. Cliff has become like Helen Thomas. She should go away because she taints her entire career. David, withholding his last name, San Francisco. I consider myself socially liberal, but football player Michael Sam and his boyfriend were too in your face for me. The problem was ESPN played it over and over again. Steve Ingram, Iwa Beach, Hawaii. Bill, out of the park interview with Barbara Walters. I thought you were fair and honored her career appropriately. Joanne Vossler, Marana, Arizona. Mr. O, I disagree with you. Barbara Walters is not just the most successful woman journalist of all time, but the most successful, period. Debatable, Joanne. Mike Wallace, I think, was more influential. Edward R. Murrow, be tough to beat. Bill Montella, Warwick, Rhode Island. Bill, how can anyone write a book about Jesus from a strictly historical point of view? History